Hello and welcome to a quick Flux video. Today I'll be showing you how to earn yield by supplying FUSD liquidity. Flux earns interest or earns yield by the interest that's paid by borrowers, and this interest is then funneled back into or towards ecosystem participants or Flux ecosystem participants. Firstly, Flux reservoir depositors are rewarded. Secondly, Illis burners are rewarded. But lastly, liquidity providers are rewarded. So it's very important that there's enough FUSD liquidity available in exchanges for people to be able to use the asset effectively. And that's why we reward it. So there's two specific DEX pools that we incentivize. The FUSD XUSDC pool on Caviar 9, or a FUSD XUSDC pool on Caviar 9, and a FUSD XRD pool on OsciSwap. The Caviar 9 pool is a shaped liquidity pool, which means that you can provide liquidity at any price you want. And this also means that you can provide liquidity at prices that don't make sense. So you could provide liquidity at 20 XUSDC per FUSD. This is way too expensive, obviously, so nobody's going to buy it or use this liquidity, so we don't reward that. We have a range of prices that you can provide and be rewarded for, and that's between 95 cents until $1.05 of XUSDC per FUSD. So yeah. You can also see the APRs of these different pools on the earn page. So we can see that currently it's about 10% APR on this FUSD XUSDC pool on Caviar 9. But you can also see that for the two different assets there's a different APR. This is because all the rewards that are distributed into this pool, into the Caviar 9 pool, are distributed 50-50 over FUSD liquidity and XUSDC liquidity. And there's not always an even amount, or actually there's almost never an even amount or the exact same amount of FUSD and XUSDC liquidity. So this time there's a bit more XUSDC liquidity, so this APR is lower. So you might want to have a look at that when you want to supply liquidity as well. For the OsciSwap pool, everything's a lot simpler. There's no range, you just supply XRD and FUSD liquidity, and it does all the calculations for you, and this APR is set in stone. Alright, so let's show you how to actually add liquidity. I'll show you on Caviar 9 first. It's the most difficult. You go click the card, and then you can add liquidity over here. Let me deselect this simple mode because I don't find it quite as simple as the not simple mode. So it's a bit of a strange name if you ask me. And let's supply some liquidity. We probably want to choose a little bit less bins, because if you have too many bins, this price range is too wide. So you'll also be supplying liquidity here and here. That's not incentivized, so we don't want this many bins. This seems about correct to me. So yeah, let's supply some liquidity here. If we keep this in mind, then we'll see that a little bit more liquidity appears, and this APR will go down because we dilute the rewards basically. So let's add liquidity. Okay. This happens so often to me, you know. Close the wallet and reopen for heterozygous pair. Okay, I had a bit. We see that this looks fine, but for some reason we are being returned some FUSD. So apparently these Caviar 9 calculations weren't completely correct, but we'll have to live with them, and maybe pester the Caviar 9 team a little bit if you want to fix this. But it seems about alright to me, so I'll just supply some liquidity. All liquidity that's being provided right now is already being provided by me, so I was already supplying some. But we now supplied more. So if we refresh this page, we'll see that these have increased a bit, and these APRs will probably decrease. And yeah, you can see the APRs have decreased and our liquidity has increased. So that seems alright to me. I'll now be earning around 7% yield on my stablecoins, which is quite okay. But it's not representative of any yield you might see in the future because nobody else is doing this right now. Let's also show you how to do it on Aussie Swap. This is probably simpler. You just select however much FUSD liquidity you want to supply. Let me do 10 cents. And it automatically will select an amount of XRD. We click add liquidity. And we add liquidity. Just sign the transaction and yeah. And we'll see here that we now have 20 cents of liquidity provided. If we refresh this page, and this will probably go to 8% 73 to be precise. Yeah, 8.73%. So yeah, this is how you supply liquidity and be rewarded for it and gain some juicy yields. Especially the Caviar 9 yield can be nice because this is a pool that's totally stable coin, so no real impermanent loss, maybe a little bit, but very little. So this is a nice thing to do. Hope you learned something, supply liquidity, and have fun using DeFi. Goodbye.